Sekai voice.
Sekai voice.
To Americans, they would probably view Ippo as timid and weak.
Deep in tradition and with respect.
Passion about things, being passionate.
In the landscape of all pro wrestling is very important. Like Antonio Inoki-san, Ricky Dozan.
Sekai voice. My name is Heinrich, and I am from Orlando, Florida, in the States. I am 31 years old. I work with Costco Logistics, the Costco company, the wholesale retailer. I have always wanted to come to Japan. I always grew up watching anime and just consuming like Japanese media in general, and coming here has been a lifelong dream. So my favorite anime title is Hajime no Ippo, and I wanted to go to the JB boxing gym, but I'm only here for a few days, but Hajime no Ippo is my favorite anime. I got into Hajime no Ippo because a friend recommended it. They're like, I think you're gonna like the sports anime. It's a little different from the others. Coming out of this show, it's you actually learn how to box after watching the show. But it was a friend recommendation about Hajime no Ippo, because I know Hajime no Ippo is not exactly popular. I know it's still going strong right now with its manga, and it has a very strong fan base, but it was recommended to me. So if it wasn't recommended to me, I wouldn't have found out about Hajime no Ippo. Yes, it's very under the radar. It's very rare. It's not common to. Whenever I run into a cosplayer or anybody who likes Hajime no Ippo, we like talk and like get in touch. It's very, very special to me. So yes, no, I absolutely love how respectful and kind everyone is here. Everyone is very mindful of each other. Everyone's always ready to help somebody else here. In America, people will turn away. People will assume the worst in you. People will ignore that you're there. People will just pretend you're not there. And here, even me, I don't speak any Japanese. Everyone here is just very, very kind and understanding, and it's a shock to me. Like, I always knew everything here was like going to be a little bit better over in the States, but it's really nice how respectful everyone is over here. I feel like Americans will probably see him as someone without a backbone, someone who isn't confident enough in himself, and they'll probably see him as someone just like how most of his opponents probably see him as a pushover, or how like you're a boxer, you should have more confidence, you should be able to have more spirit. But no, I think to Americans, they'll probably see at face value that Ippo is timid, is very probably even weak, until he gets in the ring and shows his fighting spirit. So to Americans, they would probably view Ippo as timid and weak until he gets in the ring. So I want to say that I still feel very afraid to try to converse. Like I have an app that helps me like try to speak Japanese, and I feel very like afraid to like because I know I'm a silly American here in Japan. I'm like go nasai. I would like ramen, please. So no, I think my hardest thing right now, like the transit, commuting, getting around town, it has been super, super easy. It's just my fear of communicating, because I feel like I'm not well. I haven't educated myself enough to be able to speak the language here, and I want to be able to come back later and be more confident with talking to everybody in the Japanese language, as opposed to trying to get by with English. Yes, so I want to say definitely learn some Japanese, definitely learn some basic communication, some greetings, some thank yous, some signs of respect. Like everything over here is all about respect. But outside of that, language like coincides with respect. Absolutely learn how to ask for things, how to apologize, how to ask for simple directions, or if you need something specific from somebody, learn the foundation, get a good foundation for the language, and your trip here will go a lot more smoother had you not. So definitely learning a little bit goes a long way. It makes the trip a lot more smoother. It makes your time with the locals a lot more comfortable. And I know like people here also speak like English as well. I still want to also understand your language as well. I want to be able to make it as comfortable for everyone. Like me being here is a privilege. I want to be able to make it comfortable for everybody.
Sekai voice. My name is Tristan, 38, Michigan in the United States. Sell software. Yeah, there's like a AI robotics company here that's one of our customers. I'm here for Japanese pro wrestling. Yeah, Naito Tetsuya-san. Yeah, he's cool. I like him a lot. He won the G1 Climax this year, which means he gets to have the main event match at Tokyo Dome in January. No, that's what he gets to challenge the champion. This is my 5th time in Tokyo. I was here for Golden Week earlier this year. So I try to go every 6 months because I really enjoy the lifestyle and culture in Japan. It's very peaceful here and clean, and everyone's polite, and it's a good lifestyle. I think my best experience was I was here for Golden Week in 2019, and I went to just a ton of pro wrestling shows. And then worst, I think, it was really bad weather one day. Just, it wouldn't stop raining, and we had to be outside that day. So all day we had umbrellas, and we were outside all day in the rain. We went to an island, I think, in Kanagawa. Yeah, something like that. And it's Kanagawa, I want to say. I always think Japan's the best. Like, whenever I get a chance to go on vacation, I try to go here, like I said, twice a year. So I try to go for Golden Week, and then I come back later in the year at another time. So for an American to come here, right now the US dollar is very high against the yen. So you get more money when you come here right now than what you start with. So that is pretty advantageous in itself. But other than that, Japan's just a beautiful place. So it's just a lot of fun to go here in general. I really want to go to more historical places while I'm here. Kyoto, or any museum that's like a natural history museum. Yeah, as I'm really interested in the old Japan, the history of Japan from thousands of years ago. Well, I've always been a fan of Japanese pro wrestling. It's very prestigious and historic. Japanese pro wrestling in the landscape of all pro wrestling is very important. Like Antonio Inoki-san, Riki Dozan. So the history of Japanese wrestling is always important, and modern Japanese wrestling has always been fun. But I had a friend who lives in Chiba Prefecture, and he married a Japanese woman. And he told me, he's like, hey, you should come down and check out Japan. I think you'll like it. Oh, I think it's because so many anime have good stories. So no matter like what culture you are, what language you speak, the stories are so good that when they translate to your language, it's just, the best kind of story. Yeah, very good stories, fun animation. Especially, I like older animes from like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Before they started doing it with computers, back when it was hand-drawn. I like that better. Like anything that would have been before 2005, like Dragon Ball Z, Dr. Slump, Urusei Yatsura. I'm a really big fan of Satoshi Kon. Yeah, like Perfect Blue, Paprika. Yeah. They just had Perfect Blue in movie theaters in America for a special event, and then before that there was a Miyazaki special event. So I got to see The Wind Rises in theaters. Once you start watching anime, you want to learn more about Japan, so you can make more sense of the anime, because a lot of anime have a lot of Japanese cultural things that we wouldn't know about. So then you start researching Japanese culture, and you start seeing, okay, like now I know what an onsen is and things like that. Like things that you would take for granted that they wouldn't tell us about in America. We have no idea what an onsen is. We don't have those there. In America, you can subscribe to the Funimation app or Crunchyroll, and then they will release anime like a week or something after it's out in Japan. They'll subtitle it for English. Yeah, so there's a way to do it, but it's not all anime, so you do have to go to like pirate websites for other anime. The closest thing would be the Crunchyroll or the Funimation app. But then if you wanted to like watch like a Ghibli film, it would be on the HBO Max app. It's different apps sometimes, but there are a lot of official ways to watch anime in the States, yeah.
Sekai Boys. My name is Sumo Grizzly. I'm from Norway. I'm 48 years old. I go around schools and speak about the damages that bullying can do. I work with children and those people who work with children and trying to stop bullying all over Norway. Well, in Norway, yeah, I get recognized sometimes, yes. I'm here for the Sumo World Championships, which was held last weekend. So I traveled with the Norwegian national team, sumo team, and I was there as a referee. I've been doing sumo for about 11 years, and it really started with just as a coincidence. Someone told me that next weekend we'll have the national championships in sumo, and if you want, you can participate. So I did, and with one training, I got 2 bronze medals in the national championships, and I thought, well, this was fun. No sumo training, but I have been since 2001. I have also been a pro wrestler called Grizzly. So I'm really also into pro wrestling, like you can see with Antonio Inoki on my shirt. Like for me, what attracted me to sumo is like it's a really old sport, and it's really connected with Japan, and it fascinates me that it's also steeped in tradition and with respect, and the matches are so short that you have to be so focused when you start. So all the focus and the respect for both the referees and the other sumo wrestlers is very important. I'm attracted to things that most people don't dare do or are afraid to try. It's things like outside the norm. So in Norway we are about 15 or 20 people that train sumo on a regular basis. Pro wrestling is also very small, so I'm attracted to those kind of things that are not so popular. So a lot of people do like football and handball and skiing in Norway, but not so. Yeah, so I like the smaller sports. It's not so famous, and it's not very many that does sumo, but we do a lot of cross promotion with Greco-Roman wrestling and freestyle wrestling and the Olympic sports, and also like American football and judo. A lot of those guys also come to the national championships to try sumo.
Sekai Boss. My name is Baptiste. I'm 24. I'm from France. I've been in Japan for 3 weeks. It always has been a dream to come here, and now it's for real, it's true. Yeah, but it's complicated because I've always been raised through anime and mangas. I mean, I've been growing up watching Ghibli, and so it was always a dream coming here, but the food too. The food, yeah. And more recently, I've been really interested in Japan history, and particularly religions in Japan throughout their history. And I've really enjoyed visiting Buddhist and Shinto temples. I mean, this morning I was in Nikko, and I was like, okay, this is Totoro. The forest, like, I mean, yeah, it's exactly, I mean, the forests in Japan are the same way I pictured it in Nausicaa or Totoro or Mononoke. I was, okay, that's the same vegetation, the same trees. And when you're in the temples and you are surrounded by the forests, it's really a thing. Yeah, this morning was really a really pleasant trip. In a little Shinto shrine on top of I don't know I don't remember the name of the mountain in Miyajima, because I was alone in a really small shrine and I was all by myself. It was so calm, and so I prayed and I had time to relax and to think about my family. Another best experience, totally opposite, but it was in Akihabara. So I was like, okay, that's what I dreamed all my life. I put it too much on the top. I really expected a lot of Wagyu, and I went in Kobe to eat Wagyu, and it was not that good. I love living in France. I mean, it's really a beautiful country, and it's a country that really loves Japan. I mean, we are the second people that read most mangas in the world, just behind Japan. So we're so obsessed with anime, Japanese culture, and when I told my friend I was going to Japan, everyone was so jealous. So maybe when I was like 5, but because the first thing I saw on TV was Captain Tsubasa. It was in France we call it Albator, but I don't know if that's his name. You know, the space pirate. No, not Cobra. Cobra is the man that. But I saw Cobra too. I was always in front of TV, and I was always in front of anime. 20th Century Boy by Naoki Urasawa. In English, it's I'm Not a Man, but it's an adaptation of Osamu Dazai. I didn't read the original, but I read the manga. And my third, it's too complicated. I just picked 3. Tokyo Ghoul. Passion about things, being passionate, loving your friends, and standing up for everyone, and never give up. No, because I mean it's so shonen. So when you read the shonen, you expect them to fight for friends, but I mean, when I read shoujo, like the mangas that aim for young women, like love stuff and school romance. Don't talk about friendship, like One Piece. I think it will be the culture. There is a lot of different things to learn from France historically. And the worst thing, I mean, it's Paris. Parisian people. People living in Paris make Paris terrible. They are rude. They are not patient, and they are rude. Yeah, when Japanese people go to Paris, they are really depressed because yeah, I heard that. Don't go to Paris. France is wonderful. Go near Switzerland. Go to my place. Let's visit us. Come visit us. Don't go to Paris. Go everywhere else in France. It's beautiful.